Hi, this is Wesley,
And this is Ka'shenia,
and we would like to welcome you to the
the
Underground Geek Shack.
Underground Geek Shack. And this is kind of pseudo game edition because this is like a really exciting episode because this is like a first for many things. But before we get into that,
hmm
hey Wesley,
Hey,
you want to know something?
sure.
Have
What?
you noticed that the stars have been disappearing lately?
I mean, now that you mention it, I did see a giant eyeball like the other night.
Pardon me. You say now that you mention it,
hmm
as if you forgot that there's a giant floating eyeball in the sky.
Uh-huh.
Any explanations?
Um, no, I mean, I don't see what your problem is. I mean, it's been there for like 3 days now. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my god. And the world is coming. So, for those of you who don't know, today we're going to be talking about a game that we've actually done a recording of, and hopefully the recording will be up on YouTube. But this game is called World of Horror. Now, Wesley,
Yes,
would you like to explain to the kind folks what World of Horror is?
a Junji Ito roguelike experience, point and click adventure.
Point and click adventure. And the reason why Wesley is smiling and giggling so much is
She
because
put me through this.
you say I put you through this as if you didn't want to be a part of it.
At first, I
Ah,
didn't.
that's what. But then you got into it.
And then I got into it. That was shaky at first.
So, yes, as Wesley said, this is a point and click adventure game. And it's a really, really fun game. Now, it has some like horror elements to it, but it's not a really, really scary game. There's a couple of jump scares, but from what me and Wesley experienced, Wesley only really experienced one jump scare, and that was the doorway ghost in the school.
Yeah, there was that one. The substitute teacher just creeped me out.
So actually, you know what? Speaking of this, we're gonna kind of like talk through Wesley's experience, and then I'll talk about more about what else is in the game.
hmm
So Wesley, from what you experienced, what are some of the things that you've experienced, and like, how did you deal with it?
Um, we had two timelines for this one. I call
Oh
our
yeah.
playthrough timelines because for
Well,
World of
technically, we had
Horror,
three
well,
timelines.
three. Well, because the first one we had was with Lee. Then we
Yes.
got Lee taken down by the scissor woman, and then in the second timeline, he survived that encounter. Um, and I still that doorway, man.
That doorway ghost.
I don't know why. Like all I can picture is, yeah, open the door, Wes. No, and then I opened it, and then that face just shows up.
He's like, hello. So what Wesley is talking about. So in this game, there are multiple different modes, but Wesley right now, when he's talking about Lee, is he went through the tutorial twice because I wanted him to go through it until he was able to actually win the game. Because the game is actually like really, really hard if you don't go into it with a plan. And if you go into it without knowing what you're doing whatsoever, you are doomed to fail. So um there was a lot of explaining that I had to do with Wesley.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's learned the game, and now I would say he's pretty adequate at it. Like, if he was to play it by himself, he'd probably get pretty far. So, wait, Wesley, before I go more depth into this, what were
Mhm.
some of the rules I told you before going into this game?
That I had to have a good memory,
Uh huh.
and crap, what was it? You said I had to have a good memory, and I just had to basically just remember different things of different encounters that I'm gonna have to remember in the long term.
So yeah,
So it
it
was
was like a
have a good memory, remember different names, which I'm pretty used to at this point. I mean, have you seen how much anime we watch?
I'm about to say the amount of names you're able to remember, and I'm just kind of like, I remember the main characters' names, and then you're just kind of like, yeah, I know all the Hashira's names by heart and stuff like that. You can name off almost every major and some minor characters from Naruto, and I'm just kind of like, there's Naruto, Sasuke. I can remember the main people, but you go off into like Neji, and like stuff like that. I'm just kind of like, who are these people?
I'm
But
telling
like,
you, man, I got that encyclopedia.
I mean, basically, I'm just kind of like, yeah, the white hair girl from Plastic Memories.
Stop! No,
I'm just kidding.
we're not going down that route.
I remember Isla's name. Don't worry. But but like I told him, he had to have a really good memory, and that this game is not based off of like reflexes whatsoever.
Yeah,
It's
that
literally
was
just
it.
going.
That was it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was just thinking out your actions. You have to be really thoughtful, and you have to have like a really good memory,
yeah.
because each run of this game can be very short. It took us a couple of weeks to get through it because of reasons, but I mean, relatively, if you look at our playthrough together, it was kind of long because we wanted it to be.
Hmm.
Each playthrough can only take about 2.5 hours. It took us about 5 hours in total,
Yeah.
and that was only because I had to explain a lot to Wesley, and he was experiencing things for the first time.
The cat. The cat.
The freaking Wesley, like there's a encounter that you can run into the game. That's like, I forgot the cat's name. It's like called Canis, but it's like the lunar god. And Wesley's like, "Oh look, there's a cat." I'm like, "Wesley, that's a god."
I was like, it's a
What?
cute little cat. You're like, Wesley, that's a god. I was like, but I don't want to hurt it. You're like, but it will hurt you.
I said, "Oh, don't worry, it'll hurt you. You're perfectly fine." But so let's see. The first thing that he did. Oh, and like, so of course, with Wesley saying that this is a Junji Ito style type game, this takes a lot of mythologies and creatures and stuff like that that's spoken within Japanese folklore.
Mhm.
So, Wesley, do you remember some of the Japanese creatures that we've encountered throughout our playthrough together?
We encountered the one that we called Arthur. Um,
Oh,
his name
the
was
orb,
Ath something.
the old god.
Yeah, the old god. We did
Yeah.
encounter the lunar moon.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
You
we
encountered the scissor woman.
we encountered the scissor woman. We encountered a ghoul. Um, crap, we encountered a lot. There was the freaking janitor.
Oh yeah, that janitor.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah, the one with the fish head. Yeah, him.
Well,
Um,
you didn't see his fish
yeah,
head. You
I
didn't
didn't see
do.
I didn't do the what was required to actually get the face reveal. But what else? There was the wizard. The wizard
the
dude.
the magician. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The one that I said was basically a freaking glorified magnet.
I think so. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hold on. I'm
Yeah,
picking
yeah.
up. I picked up our, yeah, the headless mannequin, janitor, Rumu's ghost.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like you've noticed a lot. So yeah, not only is there like Japanese mythology in here, there's also like some people know Lovecraftian, so like Cthulhu and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. There's Lovecraftian stuff in here, occult stuff, so different types of lore. And this game is just really, really fun. And it emulates like an old computer point and click style, like choose your adventure type game.
Not to
It's
mention the fact we also had to fight a computer.
Yes. Wesley was like, "What? I have to fight this modem?" And I was like, "Yep, go ahead."
But
Because and even the
man,
modem was called Together.
right? Like, and the thing is, this game actually makes me think. Like
Mhm.
throughout our journey throughout World of Horror within that playthrough, because so we have these characters have names. We called them different names.
Yeah, we literally went. We were like, "All right, well," I was like, "Wesley, these characters have names," and we just kind of like, "Nope, we're just gonna give them different names." Because Wesley was like, "Do you remember their names?" I was like, "Well, no, not really." So of course, us being us, we went with anime names. So Lee was our first character who died first, and then we actually was able to like succeed with him through the tutorial. And then
Mhm.
when we did our actual first playthrough, what was our character's name, Wesley?
We called her Chie.
We freaking called her Chie. And I was like, you know what? It's fitting because she is the physical character. So I mean, Chie goes.
And then there's just been so many there were just so many times where you were like, you're doing really well when it comes to how you handled the Doom
Oh
meter.
my god, yeah, I freaking jinxed us that one time because you went through three mysteries. Because literally, Wesley, my first playthrough. Let me talk a little. Let me tell you a little bit about my playthroughs,
Hmm.
and we'll go a little bit more in depth about yours. But with my playthroughs, Wesley, with my first ones, I was absolutely horrible at them. One, I'm kind of bad at reading tutorials because I
Hmm.
like to just kind of like go through things really quickly. And
Yeah.
this game has no voice acting. So if I have to read a lot, my brain does not like comprehend all of it.
Kind of
Like I have,
realized that like after like when we started the game, and then I realized that you and me had to voice out the different what was going on.
yeah, because
Yeah.
this game, like I said, this game it involves a lot of like paying attention and reading the message board because the message board is your main way of knowing if things have like changed or something like that. So there's
Yeah.
a lot of paying attention. With me, like I like this game, but if I'm not in the mindset of like paying attention, then I am doomed to fail because
Right?
my brain instantly is just kind of like think about other things, think about other things. And I'm just kind of like I need to focus. So like I said, my health and my doom meters was like off the charts. Actually, no, I never really worried about doom. I never had too much of a problem with doom.
Hmm.
My main problem was keeping my character alive.
Mm.
My
Okay.
stamina and my health was always like depleting. But you, Wesley, I think me playing with you, I was able to like help you out so much. I'm just like, Wesley, your stamina's kind of low. What do you think we should do now? And he's like, well, we should probably heal up. I was like, I think that's a good idea, Wesley. Now keep in mind, what's your dude meter like? This is a game I would say is definitely really fun if you can play with other people.
Yeah.
Just so because like I said, it is a choose your own adventure. So if you play through it by yourself and you do a lot of playthroughs, there's obviously like a pattern you're going to go through to come out with the best outcomes, unless
Hmm.
you're intentionally trying to see all the bad outcomes. But let's say with me, for example, I played with Wesley, who's never even heard of this game.
That
And
was a
seeing
total newbie to me.
And I was like, well, I know what I would do in this situation, but Wesley doesn't know what's going to happen next. So let's see what he'll do. And of course, this is a roguelike, so there are some RNG moments in there, RNG elements in the form of, will he pass this numbers check, or what event will show up next. Like for example, there are things that could happen in a game that will permanently change what goes on. So Wesley actually, so our first encounter or our first mystery was
Mhm.
known as like the macabre mermaids. It was like
Yeah, the mermaid one. Because that one
this
I said,
janitor.
I remember when we clicked on it, I said I thought the mermaids were supposed to be nice.
Yeah, he was like, I thought the mermaid's supposed to be nice. I was like, well, Wesley, this is going for like more siren type things or something like that. Obviously not. So Um, there are I think like three different endings to the specific mystery, and I've unlocked all three of them, so I know what happens.
Hmm.
But Wesley handled this really well, and I was kind of scared because this was our first mystery, and there was one outcome that could permanently like. So let me see how I can explain this. There's a school you can go to recruit allies to your side to help you out in battle and stuff like that, or just give you different types of perks. Um, Wesley didn't go to the school in our first mystery, and in the Macabre Mermaids one, there's an ending where something happens that causes a fire to break out in the school, and the school burns down. So for the rest of your playthrough as that character, you're unable to go to the school and recruit characters because the school is burnt down.
Mm.
So Wesley, you came out actually, it was kind of good that
Hmm.
you didn't do the side quest for that one.
Yeah.
Because you want to know why? You're doing the
Right.
side quest, I think, is the main requirement for the student to wake up and like flap around
Hmm.
to cause the fire to happen.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So it was a blessing in disguise that you didn't see the janitor's face.
Because I'm thinking back on it, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh my gosh, the entire. Because I was like, I remember when we went through it, right? And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, you remember the first thing you said was, yeah, you can go to the school to recruit people. And I was like, say less. And then I was like, I don't think I want to yet.
Yep.
And there was just something in the back of my head that was just like, no, don't go to the school yet.
I remember saying to you, I said, Wesley, just to let you know, there are events that could happen to where you can't go back to certain places. And then your brain started to click and you was like, maybe I'll come back later.
Yeah, I was just like, we'll do this first one on our own.
So I know we talked a lot about like the different events and stuff like that that has happened.
Mm,
I want to ask you, what are your positives and negatives towards this game? Let's start with positives first.
okay.
So
Okay.
what are some positives that you can talk about when it comes to this specific type of game?
Creature designs I really liked.
Mm-hmm.
Weird for me to say, but I kind of liked it. I liked the designs of the different characters.
Did you
What
look
else?
more into this game after our playthrough?
No.
Nope.
Like once we were done, I was just like, all right, that was pretty cool. What's on the next thing on my list?
Mm-hmm.
I think I did like the interactions. I mean, granted, the interactions are mainly between me and you,
Yeah,
since we're
but
the
that's a
ones
different.
having to voice out the different characters.
Yeah.
Like the interaction, like oh, I won't say this is a positive toward the game, but this is more a positive toward us.
Okay.
And it's the fact of our interactions as the different characters, or just the how do I put this? When we're Chie, right?
Uh-huh.
The inner monologues that Chie has in the back of her head.
Oh my god.
Because like there are times where like, oh, what was it? When we went to the shrine
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
we were at the shrine and I was like, should I break it? And you were like, I don't know. Should you? And we're just having an argument about should if we should or shouldn't break the shrine. And we broke the shrine, and you were like, I don't think that was a good idea. I was like, too late now.
yeah. He said no, no black person
No
would go
black
and
person.
would mess with this shrine. But see, us as Chie right now, we ain't black. I was like, Wesley, that's stupid logic, but okay.
I like how every time I'm like, we need to go into this logically, and then I totally sit there and say, yeah, we ain't doing the logic, the whole logical thing. We're throwing that
Mm-hmm.
out the window.
So you say that would be more of a positive towards our like individual playthrough. So would you say that would kind of be a negative for you for this game,
Like if I was playing
where
it by myself, holy heck yes, yeah, yeah. Because I in all honesty, if I was playing World of Horror by myself, uh, logic would totally have uh either been rule number one, where I think heavily on every single decision I make, or I would have just went like, yeah, I don't know about this. We're just gonna wing it,
okay,
and
well,
then
I mean, we kind
I
of did
probably
that
would
in
have.
our game. Yeah.
I mean, but this is your boy we talking about. So I've died in most gameplays that I've done.
It's really interesting because this is a very like solo player type game. Like obviously there's no multiplayer elements to this. It's
Yeah,
mostly just you and the game. But with us two playing it together, well, me guiding you and you making all the decisions and me telling
yeah,
you, well, I mean, I think that's a good idea. Or seeing the outcomes together.
yeah.
This has been a really like fun multiplayer like experience type thing because I loved seeing your genuine reactions to everything because
Glorified mag.
just so my reactions when we first did the tutorial and we went through everything in there
Mm-hmm.
when you saw who we call Mr. Johnson,
Mm-hmm.
the freaking bloated ghost.
So
And then when you saw
stupid.
the substitute teacher, like, oh my god, your reaction to the substitute teacher was like my absolute favorite because I knew how creepy she was. I knew what was going to happen.
Ah
But
man, like yeah, like when she just popped up on screen, right? I was like, you were like, yeah, and we're about to meet someone. I was like, okay, cool, it's probably like a student or something. And then when she showed up, I was like, who the heck are you?
and I was like, don't worry about it.
And then to find out what she had in the jars, no, nah, that lady was crazy.
So do you have any more positives you like to talk about with the game?
The environments were interesting.
Okay.
I mean, granted, we only had it was little depictions of where we're going, but it was still
Yeah.
interesting to go there and see, like, going downtown. It was interesting to see downtown. It was interesting to see the village, the whole freaking mansion thing that housed the ghost for some strange reason. Like going to the forest and going to all these different locations was interesting to see
Yes.
because I was like, that's interesting. How do you map out the forest in a in a way that we can, still go but not go at the same time?
Yeah, because this game is like it's really text heavy and it mostly depends on text to explain your environments and stuff like
Yeah,
that. But the way you explore is like you just click these little individual buttons, and the way that the screen changes for when we were in the forest and we had to like search the forest. Like, okay, well, how could you do that in a game like this? The way the game does it was like pretty
yeah. And I also
interesting.
like all the little effects that it had too.
Yeah, because
But
this is a I forgot to mention that this was a pixelated horror game.
yeah,
And so it's emulating like early DOS computer graphics and stuff like that. But the different effects that Wesley's talking about is the stuff that they did in the backgrounds to make it look like things are moving, like the little waves in the back to see like there's a heat wave going on or something like that.
yeah.
That was really interesting. Let's see, there are more things I want to talk about, but it's more or less what I've experienced more. So we're gonna go still with more of what you dealt with.
Um,
Um,
I think any cons that I actually had.
yeah, what are some cons that you have with this game?
Um, Trying to remember if I actually had any cons. No, some of the dialogue options that was questionable.
Well, I mean,
I mean,
yeah.
yeah, you see where I'm coming from. Like it's not the, it's like not, how do I put this, right?
Hmm.
So it's like when we went to the school in the second, I think it was the second investigation that we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to the school and then it's like, oh, this person's looking at the clouds. They look like such and such, such and such. And
Yeah,
then
okay,
it was
yeah.
like for almost every individual person, and then the last person would be, oh, this one's reading a manga about spirals. And I'm
Yeah.
like, um, dude, does no one see a problem here with the fact that everyone else here is looking at the clouds?
I know, because like that is a really weird thing is like I've mentioned before, this is an RNG type game, and so there are some things that the random numbers generator just generates wacky things. So
Mm-hmm.
those three students seeing the heads in the clouds, while the other one is just reading a manga about spirals. It some things can get repetitive and some things are like meant to like always just happen. And I know how weird and frustrating that can be. I can tell you a couple of experiences that I've dealt with where the numbers that was generated for me were
Mm-hmm.
just really, really wacky. Do you have any other cons you'd like to talk about before I go on more about my experiences with the game?
Um, I was about to go back into the enemies. I mean, I here's because like I like the creature designs and everything for the enemies, and then when it comes to their attacks though, that's the only
Yeah.
thing is that, like, I know when I'm about to do an attack, and then it's like when they do an attack, it's just like, did you do anything? Did you not? What's going on here?
So because like I said, this is a game that you do have to pay attention in. But yeah, it the screen for like when we attack, it shows like,
It
hey, we've landed an attack and stuff like that. But then it'll just flash to show that we go on to the next turn.
mhm.
If you don't look at your character sprite on the side to see what their numbers are at, you won't know if you've been how much you've been hit with and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So yeah, sometimes it doesn't feel like there's much of an impact when it comes to like the encounters. Now, with the limitations of this game has, I feel like they've done a really good job with what they've got
Yeah.
because this game is limited,
Yeah.
but it's not limited in like a bad way. This game uses its limitations in a really interesting way. Like, you know, this we're making it sound like this game has like full map environments, you get to walk around and stuff like that. But when we
It
talk
doesn't
about
have
walking around,
full animated cutscenes. It's nothing like that.
yeah, no, when we say we're walking around downtown, we're clicking a button that lets us investigate and then we'll see what event pops up for us to react to.
Yeah.
So basically the best way I can explain this game, it's a it's like Dungeons and Dragons.
Pretty much, yeah.
You don't have full control. Well, I mean, you do have some control as to how you want your character to be built. It depends on what character you choose first off, as to how you're going to build that character. But I mean, this is basically just Dungeons and Dragons. The game is the game master, duh.
Mhm.
But we're just simply reacting to what the game throws at us. Now, let me tell you about some of my encounters where I told you that the game could be a little bit wacky. So, we didn't run into this particular mystery in our playthrough, and I kind of wish we did. But there is a mystery where you receive a letter about your uncle that is passing, and you want to go to his funeral and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But you're just like, oh my god, my uncle such and such, and then you start to remember, like, you don't know much about this uncle. But when we go there, it's a completely different thing. So you can't leave that mansion once you get inside until the end of that mystery.
Mm.
So, I mean, if you go into this without knowing, like, let's say you choose this as your first mystery, you could potentially go in there and screw yourself because you won't have a weapon and you have to use like improvised weapons that you find in there,
Yeah.
which could probably be like a stick or a bottle glass. Or if you're in luck, like Wesley, pick up a freaking fire axe that freaking carries you throughout the whole game.
Right? Remember the first improvised weapon that I got was a branch, and I was like, a branch? A branch? Why a branch?
And so I remember telling Wesley, I was like, Wesley, you might want to go to the store. He's like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. We wouldn't run into an enemy this quickly. Literally, next thing that happened was an enemy encounter. And I was like, Wesley, what you gonna do now? And he was like,
I got the branch.
but then you got a freaking fire axe. And I was like, Wesley, this is the most luckiest thing you could ever have gotten. And that axe has carried you throughout that entire game.
And then we also ran into there was the police officer that we ran into.
Don't get me started
We
about
had an entire argument about that.
we'll talk about that argument here in a second. But basically, with this mansion, you can go into it and not have a weapon and be basically screwed, or like lucky if you're able to not run into many encounters. But it really depends on how you do it. There's a lot of memorization when it comes to this specific place.
Mhm.
And now here's what I mean about random RNG wackiness.
Mhm.
You're in a mansion and you're in this mansion and you're locked in and there's only like 5 people in there. You could, like, as you're exploring the mansion, a random event that could happen is somebody runs by you and pickpockets your wallet, but it makes it seem as if you're in like a crowded subway. I was like, why is this event card in this pool of events that could happen in this mansion?
Yeah, that's a little weird.
Like, it's just the wackiness of the game. There are some things that needs to be ironed out, but I kind of like that about this game where you're just kind of like going through and you're suddenly reminded that this is a game. Because it's just kind of like you're in a mansion. Why am I all of a sudden in a crowded subway? And why does the ghost need my money? What
Right?
does my money do in the ethereal realm? But let's see. This game can stack things against you, but with how you do things. I remember we had some lucky breaks in the game when we were playing through ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
where our doom meter got a little bit high. We
Mm-hmm.
got a little bit worried. I was like, oh man. And we were up against a very tough enemy. I can't remember which one exactly it was.
At
I
the
think
point that our Doom meter got, I think it was like what Doom got up to like 50 or something.
we was in found footage when our doom got
Yeah,
really, really
yeah,
high, that we went against the glitched magician
yeah,
whose
yeah,
main
yeah.
attack caused Doom. His attack caused Doom to rise. And by the end of his encounter, we were at like 75% Doom. And I was like, Wesley, we still have one more mystery to go through after this. How are we going to do this? Our lucky break
Mm-hmm.
was at the end of the thing. We did everything we could, and we chose the correct ending to where our doom meter was lessened, because there's like if you end a mystery, there are certain stats that could happen, and one of the stats says there is still hope, and your doom meter lessens by 15%. That, and there's some other stat that we had that lessened it by another 5%. So we had a total of 20% loss to our doom meter, which was our saving grace.
I
Because let me
think,
tell you,
I think. Sorry to interrupt you.
no, 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 you're good.
Um, I think when it came to the found footage, right?
Mm-hmm.
If memory serves, didn't we have Akko with us? Because we had a
Think
student. I think we had a student with us. We had a student. Yeah, we had a student, and we had the dog with us.
Yeah, we are shooting a. Yeah, we did.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, because the other guy up and ditched us.
Yeah, we realized that with the game. It was like, yeah, we're gonna save your progress. Oh, but all of your allies are gone. What? Okay. You know what? That's fine.
But yeah, when it came
Um,
to that part, we were just like, "You're like, so what you want to do?" I said, "I'm gonna leave." So we ain't gonna investigate what any further. We're gonna leave.
there's a lot to this game. The less you know about this game, the more fun you'll have discovering things. But once you've kind of like discovered everything about this game, for the longest time, Wesley, let me tell you, because I've had this game for a total of like 4 years now,
Hmm.
or like three and a half years. So I've already unlocked a lot of things when it came to this game. Alrighty, so there's a lot to this game that there's actually a lot of references that some people might not notice when they first play through it, or you might notice it and you just kind of like, wait a second, was that? And I'll be like, yep. So the first one, you actually mentioned it earlier, was the manga about spirals. That's obviously a reference to Junji Ito's Uzumaki. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
So I've never personally read any of Junji Ito's mangas, mostly because I know that with some of them, they can literally make it to where you don't fall asleep. I
Yeah, I've wanted to, but every time I go into like a bookstore and see it, I'm like, no, I'm good.
There's one image that's in my head of this woman whose tongue turned into a snail, and I was just kind of like, I don't know if I'm ready for that type of commitment yet.
Oh no, no, no. I thought about buying Uzumaki. I almost said I thought about bodying Uzumaki.
I was like, oh wait, what? You gonna body it? My God, we're freaking destroy it. But so what's funny, we're talking about Juji Ito, and he's actually in this game, or correction, he is referenced in this game. There's a character, there's a character you can run into when you're searching the apartments, and
Hmm.
it's like there's a your neighbor who's a manga artist is wondering how he should finish the story that he's currently working on. His name is Mr. Ooh. There's like three O's.
Hmm.
And the portrait that's shown is a very famous, like, it's a really good depiction of what Junji Ito looks like.
Oh, that's cool.
And I think that's the coolest thing ever. Another reference that we sadly did not run into. He
Hmm.
is somebody you can meet at when you visit the village. Now there is a specific mystery where you have to investigate the village, and there's like a festival that goes on, and you investigate the village really, really in depth.
Hmm.
But you can run into the Rock.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
Yeah, and his name is, I think, is like Iwa. I
Hmm.
it's stone in Japanese, and I can't think of the name. I can't think of the word right now. But I ran into him like it took me like 8 playthroughs of this game before I ran into the Rock, and you can recruit him as an ally,
Oh.
and he adds like strength to your character. And I was just like, I just have the Rock, but it's not like what the Rock looks like now. It's his younger. I don't know if you remember this. Do you remember seeing a picture of the Rock when he was younger in like a turtleneck sweater?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the portrait that's shown. Is that, but in like pixelated form. And now there's other like references to other things. I can't think of all of them right now. But I mean, this game is just really fun to play. Now, I've done a lot of solo runs, but I have to say my most fun one was
Mhm.
with the one with you,
Oh
where
yeah.
I played with you. So I would say, in my opinion, that it's fun by yourself, but it's more fun when you can play with a group.
Yeah.
Mostly for seeing the other people's reactions, but also like doing things that you normally wouldn't do. Like Wesley, you did a lot of things that I wouldn't have done in my own playthroughs, like pick up a gun and never use it.
He ain't gonna use it. He's a dead body.
I literally was okay. So I'm going to talk about this. I know this is like a spoiler to like our video because I
Mm.
do want you to watch our videos of this play of our playthrough of this game because it's really fun. But there's a point, and you're going to see it in there, and there's going to be an argument that I hope Wesley puts into the puts into the freaking videos. Is Wesley, there's an event where we found a dead cop on the ground. Now we had 3 options. We could have left the body alone, investigated the body for any marks or anything to help us with our investigation, or pick up the gun. Wesley said, we can take the gun. He's dead. He ain't gonna use it.
Yeah. Also, the reason why we
No,
got
no, no, no,
into this.
no.
No,
Wait.
wait. Because the reason why we got into this situation, right? Because remember, there was a time before this we were still in the middle of our investigation, and
Mm,
so we encountered something else. We ran, and then that thing decided to pursue us, and then we ran into the dead cop.
my God.
So I was like, "Hey, he ain't gonna use it. I might as well take it."
So yeah, no, 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 no. So let me tell you why this makes me angry, right? So Wesley takes this gun. I'm thinking to myself, oh my god, I never used a ranged weapon in this game. I wonder what it's like. Well, I guess I'll have to keep wondering. Because you wanna know why? Wesley picked up this gun, never used it, never fired it once.
I always put it in our
Because
slots, but I never used
Wesley,
it.
I hate how you said, "Oh, we could take the gun. He ain't gonna use it." And then I was like, "Well, Wesley." And then we went to our next investigation. I was like, "Well, Wesley, we gotta organize our inventory. You want to take the gun with you?" And you're like, "Well, yeah, but I don't think I'm going to use it." I was like, "Then what was the point of us picking up the gun?" We went into like a 5 minute argument because this boy, and throughout the whole playthrough, he never once used it. He always had it, but never used it. He was like, "I just want it."
It's a
What?
souvenir.
Wesley, it's a loaded gun. It had like 5 bullets in it.
I had 2 souvenirs from that playthrough. I had the fire axe and I had the gun.
Oh my god. But never used it.
I never used
Oh
it.
my, I was so upset. Now, why talk about this game? I let me see real quick. I just need to fact check myself
Hmm.
because I want to know when this game first came out. Because I think I bought it 2 years after it came out. I do believe it was first released 2020.
Okay.
So I bought it. I bought it 2021.
So you bought it a
This
year
game,
later.
yeah, I bought it a year later. This game is it's a really good game. It's really fun. But for the longest time, we weren't getting any updates on it. There was 2 major updates that was on this game for the longest time, and then it was left alone until the end of last year. Now let me explain why I'm talking about this. So, why is this important, you may ask? Well, we found out that they are making plans of releasing this game later on this year to the Switch.
Oh boy.
And they've added like the developer added a lot to this game. There was we literally as of recording of this day, 3 days ago, there was a release that is called Dreadful Dreams. And they've added a new god, new allies, new items, spells, and more. So if anything, I will probably play through this game more to see what else is there to do.
I just might purchase the game for the Switch, and then we might have to do a second run.
I would say definitely so, because I want to see how it runs on the Switch.
Yeah,
I mean, it should run easily, but like, just I'm used to playing this on the PC because it's only released on PC. So
yeah,
playing this on a console will be interesting to say the least.
yeah,
But so I was that was my next question was, would you buy this game? And it seems like you would, Wesley. So would you say
yeah.
that I made a positive change to your life when it came to this game?
Yeah, and you also added another game to the list of Nintendo Switch games because there's another one I want to get too. You guys might know it. It's called 13 Sentinels.
And it's I don't know, I actually don't know too much about this game, so I'm interested in this game as well.
Yeah, because
Like
it looks like a funny game.
I've seen one image of it, but yeah. Other than that, I guess that'll be it for this episode. Some things I do want to talk about is the fact that, as I've mentioned, this was a first for us.
Mhm.
This is a game that we've currently played, and we recorded our playthrough of it. So it should hopefully be up on the, would you say, on our YouTube page, on our main YouTube page?
Yeah, should be up. I'm not gonna give out a set date.
Yeah, because we're still working out some things for it, and
Yeah,
who knows, those videos might be out before this episode even shows up, but we don't know.
we have no clue.
We're just kind of like going through this as we go,
Trying
but
to make sure that the eyeball does not see what we're doing, even though it's always lurking.
it's always watching. But yeah, some other things is obviously we're going to start venturing out into different things. So what we would want to start doing is actually playing through games and then doing a, review of them ourselves. So Wesley, would you like to talk about any of the games that we plan on playing in our future?
We plan on doing Demon Slayer: The Hinokami Chronicles.
Yes.
Um, One game that I am really interested in us picking up is Hi-Fi Rush.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, because I wanna. That game looks so fun.
It does.
Smash Bros. Obvious for obvious reasons.
Well, I think we've talked about this game with in our previous not on this podcast, but on our last podcast, In Between the Lines.
Yeah, I think when we did that, we were just joking around about like how you and me usually fight each other. But that's usually the only reason why I want us to do it is just so then people can actually see how we actually fight.
Yeah, because the way we actually fight in that game, it's very like, you'll see it when we release the
The
Hemokami,
Hinokami.
the Hinokami Chronicles. When we release that, you'll see, because it's a fighting game, and you'll see how we fight in that. But the way we fight in that is way different from how we are so calculative and stuff like that when it comes to Smash Bros. In all honesty, Smash Bros might be like the main series on the freaking YouTube page because we play it so much
Right?
and we do so many different things in that game. It's terrifying.
Not to mention the fact that like all the characters are already unlocked and everything, so we have a bunch of people to pick from.
And we're like, it's so funny because we think so hard, or we'll do different challenges for ourselves. Where I'm just like, Wesley, we're both going to play as Mario. Or usually, what usually happens is we both will pick Joker because we're really good with Joker. I know this is like a side tangent, but we do plan on doing Smash Bros. Uh, I want us to start playing some more PC games because I
Hmm.
own a PC and we've recorded from my PC before. So some games I would like for us to play would be like Omori.
Hmm.
Um, there's another game on here called Death and Taxes. I want you to play. It's a choice game,
Yeah.
so it's kind of like World of Horror in a way where you like make choices and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Needy Streamer Overload. Like, there are other games on my PC that I would like for us to play together and we
Hmm.
could show the world like our reactions and stuff.
I
So that'll be
know.
the
Uh, we're about to end off anyway, but I know
no
like
no no.
you still wanted us to go through some of the Persona games, which now I can. I don't know if I want to, but I can finally get them on my Xbox.
I mean, you can. I also own them on my PC, so we
I
don't
mean,
have to.
yeah, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out as the time goes on. But yeah, so basically, we do want to start expanding what we do with this podcast. We love doing the podcast. We're not saying we don't like doing it. The podcast is our main thing. We love talking about anime. We love talking about geek culture. We just want to show you guys more of our reactions
Yeah.
to some of the things that we talk about. Maybe one day we can eventually start streaming, but that is for in the future when we can think about it even more.
Oh yeah.
But until then, any last words about the World of Horror?
World of Horror, interesting game. Interesting game. Let us know if you guys have played World of Horror, if you know anything about World of Horror.
And let us know if we've made you interested in playing it yourselves.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess until also please like, comment, and subscribe.
But yeah, thank you all. We hope you enjoyed your visit to
The Underground
Geek Shack. See you guys.
See you guys.